What's up, guys? Jason here, and I don't do much Yu-Gi-Oh videos, but the last video that I did make that involved Yu-Gi-Oh, it got the most views on any of my videos that I've made in the past few weeks. So if you guys like Yu-Gi-Oh, then I'm going to make more videos about it. And this is obviously a Geargia Deck profile. Now, before I get into the deck profile, I do want to state that the reason why I'm not doing this on like a table or showing the real cards is because I tried that and the video messed up with the editing software that I use. I don't know what the problem was. I tried to fix it, but it just didn't work. So I have to do it this way. I really don't have a problem doing it this way. And another thing is I do have every card that I will be showing in a deck profile. None of these cards are like a card that I don't have because I feel like it's stupid to use a card online that you don't have because, I mean, what's the point? Unless you know you're going to get the card. I don't see a reason in using it unless it's like a fun deck that you just want to play online for fun, but you don't have it in real life. Then I will make it notable in a video if I do a deck profile of a video that is supposed to be like a fun deck, but if I don't have it in real life, then yeah, then I'll let you know. And I think that is about it. So Geargia is a deck that it saw some play, I think about a year or two ago, I'm not sure. And it was pretty much considered a tier deck, but it fell out because of new decks coming along and because of Gear getting limited. This is what I have right now. I did start off the deck completely different, and I will discuss some things as I go through it. So first we got two Effect Veilers. I like Effect Veiler. It's really good. It can stop stuff like Construct. It can stop stuff like the Neb, Trishula, and then any other random effects. Effect Veiler is really good in the main deck, so that's why there's two in here. And I kind of went with the idea of kind of like if this is a +1 Fire Fist deck, but instead +1 Geargia. But it's not exactly like that because there's really no searching cards. The only cards that search in this deck is the monsters. Then we got 3 Accelerator. This wouldn't be a deck if this guy wasn't a card because he's like a Kazan. You can special himself if you control a Geargia. And then when this card is sent from the field to the grave, you can target a Geargia monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So if you get torrential, he can at least give you something back. You need to play 3. And then 3 armor. This guy, he has a huge defense. Not that great attack points, but once per turn he can go face down. And then when he flip face up, you add a Geargia monster from your deck to your hand. This is in here mainly in case you do not open up Augur. Then he can be a searcher and he can also stall. Next, I got 3 arsenals. I'm really debating this because honestly, this guy's not that great right now. I find myself noticing when I'm dueling that this guy doesn't do anything for me except just be another Geargia or act as another Geargia. He's basically like a Madolche Angeli. He brings out a Geargia from the deck, and then he gains 200 attack for every Geargia you control. I think even though that he's usually not able to be used, you can use this guy just as like a regular monster, and he does count as another Geargia. Now you can cut this guy to 2. I did have him at 2, which I might end up putting him back to 2. So whenever I do another deck profile of this, you might see this guy at 2. And then we got 3 Augur. This guy is the newest Geargia monster. When he's normal summoned, he adds a level 4 Earth Machine. But you cannot declare attacks or special summon monsters except for machine monsters for the rest of the turn. That means you can attack in your battle phase, and then go to main phase 2 and use this effect, and then make a Gear guy. But Mainly when I go first, I want to open this guy so I can get a gear guy on the field and hope I open like two or three trap cards. So that's what he's in here for. The monster lineup is 14 monsters. It's pretty small, but you don't need that many monsters with Geargia because this guy searches, this guy searches, this guy gets one out of the deck. So, and also this guy searches as well. For spells, I'm playing one Book of Moon. This has a lot of versatility. It can be used offensively or offensively. I'm playing Dimensional Fissure along with the one Macrocosmos and the Trap lineup because these cards really hurt the meta. Even a deck like Klee, you can do something to them with these because they get banished instead. I'm not sure how it works with Deep Fissure, but I know Macro, they get banished. Right now, I got one Mind Control in here because you do have level 4, so if you play against a level 4 deck, say like a Talonite Snap with the Nab, this can just be easy out to grabbing that the Nab, snatching it, and overlaying for something, and just keeping the Nab underneath the XYZ monster and attaching the Geargia instead. Raigeki, this is a good card. Soul Charge, considering cutting it honestly, because really you don't need it usually, and if you do need it, you could lose the duel anyway. But it's in here for now. I might end up just keeping it in anyway because it does help you be able to go for more rank 4 plays in case you just don't have anything, and it can also be a backup, so I'll probably just keep it in. 3 Upstart Goblins. I'm not using Duality because this deck needs a special a lot. And that's it for the spells. Then the trap lineup is huge. We got 18 trap cards that I might even end up bumping up more because I might want to add a Torrential, maybe a 3rd Fiendish, maybe a 3rd Dimensional Prison. So, but right now it is 1 Bottomless. This is good against Klee and basically anything. 2 Breakthrough Skill. Wenda really hurts this deck, so you want to be able to have a Breakthrough Skill to stop the Wenda. So you can go into like a Caster or an Arc. We got 1 Compulse. This bounces anything. 2D Prison is also something to get rid of Wenda. This can also help you just get rid of any random attacking monsters. 2 Fiendish Chain. This is another negating card. You'll realize that I have 6 negation cards in here and they're all different because they can all do different things. Valor can negate monsters on your opponent's turn, which can stun the opponent. Breakthrough can stop stuff like Wenda. It can also provide you with an extra negation in the grave during your turn. And Fiendish can stop attacks. We got 1 Macrocosmos. This is really good against the meta. We got 1 copy of Mirror Force because no one sees this coming. Also, sometimes you want to protect your armor and you might not get a D President, or they might set up a bigger field than just like 1 monster, so you got the 1 Mirror Force. 3 Reckless Greed. This helps you get like more cards in your hand, more traps, which is what you want. 1 Ring of Destruction. This is a really good staple. 1 Solemn Warning and 2 Trap Stun. I was maining MSTs, but the problem is it doesn't really do anything. It only hits like 1 card. You'd rather open up something that can just stun their backward completely so you can get rid of their board during your turn. Another card I might add in here is a Birdman also. Then you can have access to a Black Rose with this Trap Stun, so that's another thing you can think about. And then 1 Vanities. If you get like a Gear Giant or 2 Gear Giants with the Vanities on the field, then you can just go off. Really quickly, let me go over some gear because I'm not playing this because it's at 1. You need to have 2 Geargianos with different names in your deck. You're never going to see this. I'm not playing these. I did try them, but they're too slow. It makes you open up with too many monsters, so I'm not playing them. This guy he's not good at all. Well, he's fine, but I'm not using it. Another card is this Machine Duplication. You can use this to get out an Augur if you draw these, but I found this play to be stupid because once you go for that play, the other 2 are dead, and usually you don't even open it. I tested a lot of games with it, and most of the time you don't open up Machine Dupe. You'd rather just have another trap card. You'd rather just summon this, get the Accelerator, go for Gear Guy, and then set some backers. So I just cut this completely. Now for the extra deck, we got 2 Abyss Dweller. There's been a lot of times when I found myself wanting to make 2 of this, so I have 2 in the extra deck. You can make rank 4s in this deck easily. Another thing you might want to not reconsider, but consider playing the deck is Call of the Haunted. I was playing 2 of it, but I cut it. If you want to play Call of the Haunted, I would consider maybe putting 1 in the deck, maybe cutting Soul Charge. Another card you can play is a Traptrix Murmillo. I was playing that with a Bottomless and a Nightmare, but I found it to be too slow, and then I couldn't do any plays, so yeah, that's why I cut that. And then we got 1 Castle, shuffles monsters, and face up spell and traps that they're really trying to mess up your position. Diamond Direwolf. I like this guy in here because sometimes you just want to get rid of a card. Marigeist. This is in here for stuff like the hands. He can also shuffle back stuff like a Klee monster in attack mode or in attack position if he destroys it by battle instead of it going to the penalty zone. I think that's how that works. 1 Exciton. I threw an Ouroboros in here because there's sometimes you are able to make it, and he has some pretty decent effects. So if you have an option to make him, then you can go for it. Cowboy for game. 3 Geargiants. You need to have 3 in here. This is your main monster. 1 Gemnite Pearl because he has the biggest attack points besides this guy. The Ouroboros, yeah. Besides Ouroboros, we got 1 Arc for taking monsters, 1 Rank 0 for like against Klee and against like those random Fire Fists, and then we have a Rhapsody for decks like Necros. And Shadows, you can banish their fusions, and Burning Abyss, you can banish their Burning Abyss monsters. And that is about it. I don't have a side deck built because you can build the side deck depending on like how your locals is, how your regional, how do you think the regional is going to be, or yeah, the side deck is just all dependent on whatever event you're going to. You also might be seeing this video way in the future, or you might be seeing it like after a ban list already came out, and then one of the cards in the side deck might be pointless. So you could also say that about the main deck, but I mean, I have to do the main deck or it's not a deck profile. So that's about it. Tell me what you think of this Geargia deck profile, and I will see you all in the next video.